Hey, Scorpio. Welcome to your monthly forecast for March 2016. Now, before I jump into the forecast reading for March, I just want to let you know how the reading goes and how I do things. So, I have my fancy dancy angel cards, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be uh, pulling out four cards. Okay, at the end of the reading, I'm going to be pulling out four cards. Okay, one card for each week in March. So that's going to give you an idea of what to expect for each week in March. And then I'm going to pull an overall card from the deck just to let you know what the full month is going to have in store for you. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you watch this video until the end. Now, I just want to mention before I jump into the reading, it is going to be Mercury retrograde in March 2019. So what I've done is I've added a link below in the description box with the link to the video that I did in regards to Mercury retrograde. So if you want to know more about Mercury retrograde and what you need to do during Mercury retrograde so that you can avoid all the drama and just be prepared for the changes that are going to happen, then click that link below and you can get more information on that. So I'm going to jump into your forecast. And the first thing I want to mention, Scorpio, is that, all throughout this year, not only in March, but all throughout this year, you have Jupiter in your second house. So Jupiter in your second house, is a huge thing because, a lot of you are making money and you're doing very well in your careers and in your businesses. Okay, and in your jobs. Now, the other thing that I want to mention, Scorpio, is that we're going to have a Mercury retrograde in Pisces, and there's going to be a lot of stuff happening in the month of March. And because Pisces is squared to your second house, because Sagittarius and Pisces are at a 90-degree angle in the zodiac, it basically means that, it's important that you watch your money. It's important that you watch your money in March, okay? And some of you are going to be having some new projects on the go as well, too, in March because of the new moon in Pisces, okay? So Pisces rules Scorpio, we got Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and then we have Pisces. So Pisces rules your fifth house, okay? It rules your fifth house. And what does that mean? It means that rules the house of romance, okay? Romance is the house that Pisces rules. So because there's a lot of retrogrades going on and stuff like that in the month of March, there may be some confusion around, those kind of matters, like things involving romance and stuff. So what I've been telling, pretty much every sign, I'm telling every sign, do not jump into any relationships, or if you want to date somebody, it's fine to date somebody, but also just keep in mind starting something new during this time is not advisable. So I just want to get that out of the way. If you guys are dating or you're interested in dating, I think this March is more about thinking about the things that you want to do in April, because what I view March is more of, it's the time where you it's like a slingshot, the slingshot goes back and then you spring forward. So March is more of a time where you just relax and you enjoy yourself and, you just, prepare yourself for April. Okay, so on March 1st, we have Venus entering Aquarius, and Aquarius is the ruler of your fourth house, okay? So a lot of you are going to be with your families, spending time with your families, giving love to your family, maybe just spending time with your family. Some of you are overdue for that. So some of you may be called to be with your family on March or around March for the month of March. And it's nice to catch up with family because you want to be able to enjoy yourself and have a good time and just really spend time with your family. Your family is important. So if you haven't done that, March is going to be a good time to do that. Now, as the month goes on, Venus is going to leave your fourth house sector, which is family and your home. So, as it moves, it's going to move into your fifth house. And I'll talk about that in a second. But before I do that, I want to go back to the fourth house. The fourth house also talks about decoration. It talks about decorating your home. Maybe you're doing some decorating in your home, or you're working on your home, the interior decor, some of you, because Venus is going to be in that sector. Now, if that is the case, I just want to recommend to you, Scorpio, that if you do go out and buy things for your home, just make sure that you're well aware of what you want. Make sure you know the return policy, because it is Mercury retrograde. So, if some of you buy some like electronics for your home, or, just spend a lot of money on stuff in your home, you really should be careful about that because of the Mercury retrograde. You could still, think about things that you want to implement, but going out and spending a lot of money, and not knowing the return policy, and not really knowing, what you really want to do with, those objects, and just kind of going and buying just frivolously, I really, really recommend that you take your time in March, because some of you might be doing that. Not all of you, but some of you may be focused on your home and implementing things in your home. So that's fine. Okay. Just to make sure that you're spending, because your second house and the fifth house are in square. Okay. But it's still a good time to get ready to do all these things in April. Okay. Now, another thing I want to mention is, as Venus leaves your fourth house, because it's going to be in your fourth house March 1st, all the way until about, I believe it's going to be the new moon, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so I just wanted to pull up my chart here. But so what I did here was I pulled up my chart. Now, there's going to be a new moon in March 6th. Okay, so the new moon is happening in your fifth house. So some of you are going to be going from, focusing so much on your home and focusing on the interior decorating, or, just having family over. You're going to be spending a lot of time, with your home. But then as the month goes on, some of you are going to be focused more on romance as time goes on. You're going to be focused on romance. You're going to be focused on, maybe starting a new romance. Okay, you're picking up from an old romance that you had before, because you have the new moon happening in your fifth house. So this is a time to really enjoy yourself, and take some time out to really, if you're dating or you want to meet some new people, then that's what you can do, Scorpio. That's something that is open for you. However, like I've said to every sign, do not start a new relationship in the middle of March. Okay, take your time, date, court, go out and be courted, or you court somebody, but don't just hop into a relationship, because a lot of the times, if you start a relationship during Mercury retrograde, then you're starting a relationship where there's miscommunication. Okay, because the way astrology works is that when you have a chart, okay, it's like when you're born, the planets are in a certain position, and that's going to determine who you are as a person. It's going to determine not who you are as a person, but the influences that are around you. Okay, the influences, the circumstances around you. It's like, if I'm born on a sunny day, okay, I'm more likely to have a tan than I am to be pale, because I'm a summer baby. So so it's just, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. So, it's important that if you are starting a relationship or getting married even, okay, that you know exactly when to start the marriage and when not to start the marriage. And the worst thing you can do is get married to somebody during Mercury retrograde. Trust me. Okay. Now, another thing I want to mention is that on the 5th of March, Mercury goes retrograde. However, there is a shadow period. So the retrograde has basically already started, because of the shadow period. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, the next thing I want to mention is that March 6th, we have Uranus leaving Aries. Okay, Uranus is leaving Aries. And Aries, Uranus has been in your 6th house. Okay, it's for 5 or 6 years now. It's been there for a very long time. So some of you could have been battling with your health, your health, or your day-to-day work life could have been very unstable. A lot of different surprises, a lot of different things going on. So, that's going to change for you. The unstable surprises and instability that you may have been having with your health, or maybe with, your day-to-day life, your day-to-day work sector is going to be coming to an end. And it's going to be moving into your 7th house. Now, what does that mean? When Uranus moves into your 7th house, there's going to be a lot of new surprises. So to me, what that means is that if you've been single, or you've been looking to date somebody, or you're interested in starting a new relationship, with the Uranus moving into your 7th house, that's going to make, people available to you. Okay. People are going to start showing up in your life. People are going to just start being available there for you to maybe date. And also another thing is business. You could have more activities in your business life. Okay. So those are the things that a lot of Scorpios are going to be focused on as we move into March, business and relationships. And they don't have to be romantic relationships. They can be business partnerships. Okay. So a lot of you are getting into new business partnerships that are a lot different from the ones that you've had before. Okay. So this is a really good thing if you are a business person, or that's something that you are interested in. Okay. Then we have on March 20th, we have the sun moving into Aries. Okay. So some of you were dealing with maybe some health issues, or you're focused on your health, trying to be healthier as, just being a healthier person in general. And what's going to happen is on March 20th, the sun is going to move into that area, the 6th house, which is going to highlight all the work that you've been working on. So, some of you have been on a workout plan, or eating better, or eating healthier. And if you haven't been doing that, then March 20th is the time to start that. Okay. It's going to give you the energy, because Aries is the ruler of your 6th house. So that means that you want to be able to focus on your day-to-day life and your health, because here's the thing. When you think about the 6th house, you think about, okay, my work life. Every single day you work, okay? But if you're not healthy, if you're not eating well, and you're just like, you're drinking all the time, and you're not eating healthy, and you're doing all these things that are going to hinder your health, then that's going to hinder your day-to-day work life, okay? So that's why the work life, the day-to-day work life, and the health are connected in that 6th house, which is actually ruled originally by Virgo. But because your chart, the ascendant of Scorpio, from there, Aries is the one that rules it. So now that, Uranus is moving out of that area, you're going to be given the energy and the leeway to really be able to focus like 100% on your health, 100% on your day-to-day work life, and make changes, make the changes that are necessary for you to have a healthy lifestyle, if that's something that you're interested in. So you'll have that opportunity to do that. Okay. And so when the sun enters Aries, we also have a full moon in your 12th house, okay, which is Libra. So some of you are really, some of you might have spent a lot of time alone, okay? Some of you have been maybe just spending time alone, away from people, kind of taking a break from the scene. And I have a feeling that a lot of Scorpios needed that. They needed time to just kind of chill out and like be on your own and take time out for yourself. And that's fine. That's important, because, if you don't take time out for yourself, then, you forget about yourself, and it's important to take time out for yourself. And the 12th house also rules, anything to do with hospitals or jails. So some of you might have, not all of you, maybe like 10% of you, might have been dealing with somebody in the hospital. Maybe somebody was sick. Maybe you were sick, or maybe somebody was in jail, or maybe somebody is in jail at at or around the full moon, okay? But all in all, like, it's not a bad thing to have the full moon in the 12th house. It just means that it's time to rest, okay? You need to rest and recuperate. And the good thing is that this whole month is going to have a lot of energies changing. So when you take that time out for yourself, Scorpio, and you really just chill out because you have the moon so far deep into your chart, you know, a lot of you might be thinking about spirituality, and a lot of you might be thinking about like just everything that's outside of this world, okay? So, you know, be gentle with yourself, okay? Take time with yourself. Don't feel like you always have to be on the scene. Don't feel like you always have to be answering people all the time. Like, take time out for yourself and really just enjoy that energy, because as the time goes on, there's going to be more things that are required of you. There's going to be more energies required of you, because March is more of a chill month. It's not a month to be like going crazy. Just chill out, relax, enjoy yourself, okay? Because as we go down into the month, we have Venus, okay? We have Venus entering your 5th house, okay? So after the full moon happens in your 12th house and you're like, okay, I spent time with myself, I'm loving myself, I'm enjoying myself, then you can have the romance that you want, which is going to come at the end around March. You're going to have, you know, obviously you have to go out and make it happen. It's not just going to like show up at your door, Scorpio. You have to make it happen. And Scorpios are all about making stuff happen. You guys are all about like, if Scorpio wants something, Scorpio will get it, because Scorpio is a fixed sign. You guys are a fixed sign. So when you guys want something and you work super hard to get it, like, trust me, it's going to happen for you guys. Okay. So with the Venus going into your 5th house, you are going to have romance available to you. Okay. Some of you might have children. Some of you might spend time with your children, because the 5th house also rules children. It rules children entertainment as well too. So some of you might be out and you might meet somebody who's new, who's a potential person that you can date or, you know, spend time with, right? Depending on what your priorities are in terms of, some of you want to date. Some of you guys just want to enjoy the romance that you have. Some of you are in relationships already. So around March, the end of the month, more romance is going to be available to you. So you might want to take advantage of that. On March 28th, Mercury goes direct. So I'm glad, because Mercury retrograde only lasts for like 3 weeks, which is really good. And then you have, what we have here is we have Mars entering Gemini. Okay, we have Mars entering Gemini. And Mars entering Gemini is really good because Mars is ruled by a fire sign, Aries, and Gemini is a water sign. So the beauty with that is, for many of you, that's going to be entering your tax season, the 8th house. So a lot of you at the end of the month are going to be getting ready to get into partnerships. You're going to be doing a lot of joint finances, you know, joint partnerships, really getting involved in 8th house matters, okay? Because that's for rising Scorpio, okay? Sun, moon, and rising. And the 8th house is your ruling house. So Scorpio rules the 8th house, okay? So what does that mean? It means that most Scorpios at the end of the month, you're gonna feel more energy, okay? Whereas in March, you might feel tired because you have this, you know, the full moon in your 12th house, and the full moon's like, okay, Scorpio, like, take time out for yourself, just enjoy yourself, relax. And then as soon as that full moon breaks out, you know, as soon as that breaks out, then, you know, you are going to move full forward, okay? Because Aries, the sign of Mars, is ruled by Aries, and that's going to be in your 8th house. So your 8th house, you're ruled by that. So you're going to have more energy and you're going to want to push forward to do more things. So by taking the time out to really enjoy yourself, okay, to really enjoy yourself, and relax now is important so that later you have more energy. Okay, Scorpio? So that's the overview of what to expect in March in terms of the planetary movements that are going to be happening. So I'm going to pull 4 cards out for Scorpio. Please provide us with 4 cards for each week. Okay. For the sign of Scorpio, March 2019. Okay. And I'm going to pull 1 more card out. Okay, so I got this card fell out, so I think it's, okay, so we have awakening. So Archangel Gabriel, it says, look at things from a different perspective. A temporary standstill, it's important to be yourself. So some of you are going to be going through the Mercury retrograde, and some of you are going to be feeling it more than others because you are a water sign and Pisces is a water sign. So because the retrograde is happening in Pisces, it's going to affect Scorpios more than it would other signs. All the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, but you have an awakening that's going to be happening, Scorpio. And in this awakening that happens the first week, I think it's going to prepare you for things that you need to know for the month. Okay. So there might be things that you don't know that are coming, but better things are coming for you because you're going to be aware of them. We have the number 12 that might be significant to some of you, but if you add 12 together with the 1 and 2, that equals to 3. So this awakening can happen at the 3rd day of the month, the March 3rd. And like I said, it says look at things from a different perspective. So maybe some of you are looking at things from, one way, but you might change the way you look at things because you're going to have an awakening. Okay. And this awakening, we have an angel here. And it says a temporary standstill. So some of you may be like awakened, but like it kind of shocks you in a way where it wakes you up and you're like, wow, okay, I didn't know that. And then you can move forward. And then it says it's important for you to be yourself. Okay, so just continue being yourself. Don't feel like you need to impress anybody or you need to go out of your way to be impressing to other people. Just be who you are. Okay, that's what my whole channel says. It says be you. I believe in that. So, okay, so what's the next card for Scorpio? We have the 6 of air. Things are looking up. Okay, so it sounds like after you hear from this awakening, things are looking up. That's what it says here with this card. And you have a little, well, it's not really little. It's a unicorn in a boat. Yeah, a unicorn in a boat. And it says, things are looking up. The end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. So some of you might be taking a trip in March. And if you are taking trips or you are traveling in March, I never recommend to travel during Mercury retrogrades. But like if you really feel like you need to travel during Mercury retrograde, then just make sure you leave your house on time. Make sure that, you have all your information, your itineraries and all of that, because a lot of the times I find with Mercury retrograde and traveling, it could be a little challenging for some of you. Okay. If you can hold off the traveling for some of you, I would hold it off if you can. But if you can't, just make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. Okay. The next card we have. Ooh, okay. I like this one. It says King of Earth, generous, professional, responsible, practical, a successful time. Okay. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. The Midas touch. So some of you at the 3rd week of March are going to be expecting to have some professional success. Maybe you're getting ready to be, because that's when the energies are going to change, right? So some of you might be getting ready to do some business with people. And because Uranus is going to be moving into your 7th house, there will be a lot of business opportunities, maybe even surprise business opportunities, okay? And you have a rainbow in the background. So you see the card has that rainbow in the background there. So, the light is shining. A successful time, confidently accept your opportunities you're offered. So you will be offered some opportunities that will be available to you, Scorpio. And that is energy for the 3rd week of March. And the last card that we have here is the Two of Earth. Too much going on at once, okay? The need to make a decision, consider more playful approach. So I think that what this card is signaling is after the full moon in Libra, you know, you really are going to want to kind of relax and take time before you jump into April. Okay. So some of you may need to relax. And Two of Earth symbolizes, you know, the earth elements. Earth is very down to earth, relax, you know, taking time out to enjoy yourself and not pushing yourself too hard. Okay. Now, the overall energy, Scorpio, for you is the Unity card. And I think you have very similar cards to Libra, because Libra had very similar cards to you. And I find Libras and Scorpios are very connected because I don't know, I always see Libras and Scorpios usually together. It's they share a lot of energy. So, but yeah, so Unity. And it says traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So this to me, again, it's signaling spirituality. This card is all about spirituality because it has all of the different, it has like the Dharma and the Star of David and the cross and the yin and yang. And it's like this man, okay, whether you're a man or a woman, is just kind of sitting there contemplating. And a lot of you are going to be going through spiritual awakenings because you have the moon happening in the 12th house. And some of you might not understand what you're going through, but, go with it because, a lot of you need to spend time alone and you guys need to really just feel like, you're able to be yourself alone by yourself and just think about things. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull one more card out for Scorpio, just one more card, just to clarify the overall energy, this energy, because I want to understand, like, what does it mean by unity for Scorpio? What does it mean by unity for Scorpio in March 2019? Please give us a card just to verify the unity card. Okay. Verify the unity card here. Okay. Okay, so it says 10 of air. It says the end of a difficult situation, embrace change and expects things to get better now, recovering from an addiction. So some of you might have been, addicted to something. Okay. And it says an end to, an end to a difficult situation. Okay. A difficult situation. So some of you might have been contemplating about something that you went through. And now this card is verifying that, you will have an end to a difficult situation. This card also shows me like a lot of you have been thinking about something. A lot of you have been thinking about something that maybe you went through or that you're going through, and that situation is going to come to an end. So I'm really happy to hear that, Scorpio. Thank you for tuning into my channel. If you like this video, please like and subscribe down below. Like I said, there's a Mercury retrograde video. If you want to know more about that, you can click on that video. Thank you for watching, and I wish you guys all the best in March, okay? Thank you. See you guys later.